Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. I know it's been a while since I've actually dropped a video. I know a lot of the excitement's kind of been drained out of the market over the last few months. The beginning of the year hasn't been as successful as we've seen in the last couple of years when we've been in a bull market. We've kind of moved under that 200-day moving average over the last few months, and we're kind of just waiting for some of these stocks to break out. Some of our stocks have actually outperformed the market, which we'll talk about also for those of that have been holding above that 200-day moving average. But I had to put out an alert today for some of these stocks that we've been watching and been trading in the past here. For all you new viewers out there, if you want to be in the know every time I drop one of these alerts, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can know what we're trading and what we're looking at in order to put some of this money in your pocket, But let's go ahead and dive right into it today, y'all. Appreciate everybody still following the channel here. But I got 4 of our top picks up on the charts as we normally do in our videos. And today I wanted to talk about AQST, which is Aquestive Therapeutics. We're also going to go over GSAT, which is Global Star. New one we've haven't necessarily traded it too much in the past. I've been in and out on this position here a couple of times, but this one's more in my focus nowadays just because of everything that's going on in our energy sector. But GEVO is another stock that I want to talk about today when it comes to renewable energy. And then our last stock I want to talk about is SEEL, which is SEEL Therapeutics. So let's go ahead and jump right into it here. Off the top, we got AQST, which is Aquestive Therapeutics. Let's go ahead and open up the chart here. So this is a 30-minute chart. Let's go ahead and look at the daily real quick. As you can see, yeah, it's been a kind of a brutal downtrend, since January. As you can see, at the beginning of the year, we've kind of just been following that downtrend over the last few months. And we actually hit a low back in the beginning of July, about 61 cents, as you can see. And since then, we've started to build a little bit of momentum. We broke above that 50-day moving average here at the end of July, and we've kind of been holding around that level. And as you can see, as we moved into August, we finally started to see some volume and momentum build into this stock. Yesterday was one of our days where we've seen a little uptick in volume, and then today, as you can see, we've seen a massive amount of volume draw into this stock here. Right now we're trading about 7 million shares for the day, and we're up 1,700% though of its daily average. So that's a lot of volume that's been poured into this stock today. A lot of attention. As you can see, we're already up about 12% on the day. I think we hit close to 20-30% earlier this morning, but as you can see, we kind of pulled back a little bit here on the daily. But we're starting to see some attention on this stock here. This is a company that is starting to put out some of their own. They have a technology where they're working on, which is called a farm film. It's kind of like those Listerine strips you can put in your mouth, and it kind of dissolves and cleans your breath or whatever. But they're making a medication along that same kind of concept, and it's kind of picking up some attention over the last few months. This is something to where I've been following for a while now. They've had good earnings that were actually released here a few days back. I believe it was last week. And they actually had some good earnings that was reported. Revenue and everything was they actually made more revenue. They beat the estimate, and they also gave us some good guidance for their next quarter, which is also a plus when it comes to investors here wanting to invest into these companies. They have something that they're working on too. There's a few different things they have working on in the background. I can't really remember everything. I have so many different stocks that I follow, but maybe I can zoom in a little bit more, zone in on this stock a little more with some information on a different video. But we'll follow up on this one as we start to see the volume and the price action here move up. But this is a good company. I feel has a future potential in gaining some good profits here. The company's been showing some positive results in their reports for their revenue and their profits over the last few quarters, and it's kind of been with following the market, over the last 6 months or so. The market hasn't been doing good, so it's kind of been following along. But as you can see today, it's starting to break out. We hit a high of about $1.36 today, coming off of that low this morning. Where were we? We started around about 94 cents. You see, we've almost doubled just in today. We hit that high of 136. You can see on the RSI, which is the 70 and this 30 level here, we've kind of already been overbought. So we started to see that pullback here on the 30 minutes. So we're looking for a good buy-in opportunity when to buy into this stock. I would think we'd pull back I don't know if we'd come all the way back down to this dollar. We may hold around 103, 105 or so, and I would think that would be a good opportunity to buy in. But you always want to wait for those candles to close in the green, so you can actually see that uptrend pushing back to the upside. You don't want to buy in on the red candles here closing, because we can still pull back a little bit more. You never know. We can always fall back below this 200-day moving average, which is this dark blue line. But I'm feeling confident that we'll hold above this level and start to push higher. They do have a price target that's been set for some of our analysts that have also been following this. I do my own analysis on these stocks when it comes to the fundamentals behind the company and what it is that they're producing in general. But as you can see, we do have some of these analysts putting about a $4 to $5 price target on this stock, which was initiated back in June. As long as they have some positive results coming off of their FDA approvals and some of their treatments that they started to do, we may be able to see this stock continue to push higher. That's what we're waiting on, is just some positive feedback on some of their trial periods that they're running on some of their medications. But revenue is it's always a good thing, showing that they're making money, they're making moves. That's a good thing. Cash flow, free cash flow available. That's always a plus also. They got money to spend, money to invest, and to work with in order to advance their company and their organization there. So AQST, man, this is a real good company. I'm feeling confident in the next year or so we should be able to double our money. We're looking at about $4 on the low end, possibly $6 on a high end. It's what we've seen last year, hit a high around $6 or so before we've seen the market pull back. So we're giving a range about $4 to $6 here over the next few months. So if this is something you're willing to trade, I would look for that good buy-in opportunity around $1 or so. Even right now, 109 is really not that far off. But if you want to go play for cent to cent, you can always wait for that pullback a little lower. As you can see here on the short term, we've already pulled back under that VWAP. So I would probably wait for it to break back above the VWAP if we're pushing back to the upside, or maybe wait for this candle to close and see where the next one opens. If we start to open back to the upside, or if we start to push even lower, then you'll know whether to buy in or to wait. But a good opportunity, I would say, to watch would be that level around $1 or so. But let's see what happens here as the market closes today and then opens tomorrow, and then it'll probably give you a better idea where to take your position on this one here, y'all. But AQST, if you aren't already in the know, add this one to the watch list, y'all. This one I feel is going to be making some big moves pretty soon. I've been waiting for months now. I've been invested in this stock over a year, and I'm ready to make some more money on this one here. I see some positive moves coming, so let's hope that it plays in our favor, and let's just keep an eye on this one, y'all. All right, stock number 2, we have GSAT, Global Star. This is another one that I've been following. I've been invested in over the last year or so. It seems to be about 8 months, I would say, that I invested before the market started to cave in. And this one here is actually, as you can see, it's been outperforming the market here over the last few months, or it's kind of been on an up and down zigzag trend, but it's been holding that 200 level, that 200 moving average level around 120, 130 or so. You see, since back in May, we've came down to that low around 99 cents. I think I bought in maybe February or so. I got in around 90 cents. I think maybe it was right here actually. So yeah, it's been about almost a year, moving into August from January. But as you can see, we've already tapped out on that 90 and that 90. So when I seen it holding these levels here, I kind of already knew we're going to start to push up. And then once we broke through that 200, it still got some selling pressure, as you can see. That's why I labeled this line right here, this level yellow. This was my buy-in opportunity, letting us know like, hey, this is the time to buy in. So we already pushed above the 200-day moving average, so I'm starting to feel real bullish on this stock. Global Star, you might want to check some of my previous videos that I posted on this company, but they're a satellite communication company where they have like telephones and things like that, where a lot of different organizations use it as far as in rural areas, space centers and things like that. Places where you can't have your telephone, this is a good product that they have out there to reach places that other communication companies can't reach. So this is something I feel over the future, this is something that we're going to start to see, I think, grow in price, because as we have war and a lot of other things that are starting to go on and transition around the world, I really think our satellite technology is something that's going to start booming, comparing to our regular communications that we use, such as Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. Some of those more familiar companies though. But don't how can I say, don't sleep on this stock here, Global Star, y'all. Even though it sees that this price is pretty low right now, I think this is a good opportunity to get in, about $1.50 or so. As you can see, we're already starting to see on the daily that pressure pushing back to the upside. Even though we have a red candle, look at all that buying pressure. You can see there's a big old wick here, still showing that there's a lot of buying going on in this stock here. So the last 2 days we did see a little bit of down pressure. That's they just had their earnings released also. They did miss. I believe they had a small loss. They did beat their revenue. I'm sorry, this isn't even the right one. Let me look at it. So actually the revenue rises, but they posted a Q2 loss. I believe it was a small loss per share, 1 cent per share. But they're expanding their products and a lot of things they got going on with contracts, and this is something that I feel over the next quarter we're going to start to see that growth in this company here as they start to release some of that information here. But right now, as you can see on this 30-minute, we broke out and we got those earnings letting us know that they're making moves. They have some good guidance that they provided also as far as what they're doing with their products. And we broke out, you know, we hit that high, I believe around 180, which was yesterday. Since then we've pulled back a little, coming all the way down, which was expected. We started noticing on the RSI, we were a little overbought, as you can see, when that first breakout. So we already knew we were going to come back down. So we started to come back down. We're looking around, you know, 60. We may pull back a little bit more. So I'm not sure if y'all want to wait to see how tomorrow plays out on the open before y'all decide to buy into this one, even maybe till the end of the week, depending on if we're continuing to move lower or if we start to move higher. That would probably give you a better indication of when to buy in. If we can break above that 160 or so, we may continue to push higher. So I would watch around that 160 mark. Let me kind of zoom in on a short-term chart here just to give you a better idea. So you can see that's around the level that we've been testing here over the last few days, around 160 or so. So 160 is a level to watch, but if we continue to push back down to the low side, 150, even 148 is where I have my buy-in marker right there. So this would be the best time to buy in on the low, 148, but watch that 160 level for the breakout to the upside here. We have the high of 180, but over the last 52-week high, that's 278, and we're looking to hit that level here real soon. So we're trying to triple our money as far as when I bought in at that 90. So that would be a good win on our end here. You know, about almost quadrupling our investment there. So that was a good play. You know, this is the reason why I like to release these videos, letting y'all know what it is I'm looking at and the reasons why I'm looking at it. And right now, this is a good stock to buy. It's feeling bullish. We're holding above that 200-day moving average now. We're starting to actually push to the upside is what it's showing us, what's been playing out this week. So that's always a good sign. And I can't wait to see what happens here over the next few days. But keep this one on the watch list, y'all. GSAT. We already know how this one's moved, especially when that Apple news was released back at that time last September. You started to see it gap up, and a lot of volatility started playing into this stock here. So I'm hoping to see this happen soon, where we start to see these higher levels here, and I'll be looking to take some profits. I got my profit indicator right here, this line around 250. So I'll be looking to take some profits around this level unless we're able to push up, but this is the level I'll be looking here to at least pull out something before I decide to push even higher or even pull back and buy in again. But watch this one, y'all. Keep it up there and just keep an eye on this one. So you can see we got Benzinga already posting something too, so they're looking at what I'm looking at, so that's a good sign, y'all. But GSAT, Global Star, good company, real good company. Alright, y'all, something new. We're looking at GEVO. This is an energy stock, new renewable energy for gasoline. I'm not sure if you are familiar with this stock here, but I started doing some research around GEVO, and they're producing some crazy stuff. They have some new contracts that they've been signing with some airlines. I believe Alaskan Airlines, they just signed a $1 billion contract. I don't know all the fundamentals behind the numbers, but I've been seeing them landing more and more contracts here going off of their product that they're doing and how it works with GEVO. I mean, don't hold me to this. I'm just going to give you a quick little brief rundown of what it is that I understood when I researched on the company. But they produce corn. They use this corn in order to turn it into ibutanol, I believe it's what it's called. and they use the ibutanol to produce some type of a gasoline. Now they're aiming to, I believe it's only so much percent gasoline that they're producing right now, but they're aiming to, their whole slogan is they want the whole gallon. They're aiming to produce this product and being able to fill up any type of car, any type of vehicle, airplane, you name it. This is where they want to do with their company when it comes to this gasoline that they're producing here, and it's a renewable energy. It's like a cycle. They farm the corn, they produce the gas. Out of the corn that they farm, they're able to get so many pounds back and feed that back to cattle, where the cattle eat it. They produce a gas. They even use some of that gas to produce another type of, I'm not sure, product with the gas, but it's like a cycle, a continuous cycle where they're renewing what they're using. There's no waste. Any waste that they do produce, they're figuring out ways where they can use that waste to still produce more of their products, or at least share it with the agriculture or whatever it is that they're doing. But they're making it to where the carbon's in the air, they're reducing that. Before we're able to even move into an electric type of world where everything's running EV, electric vehicles and all that, this is the step before that, because we're not going to change. Everybody can't just go buy an electric car, overnight in the next few days. This is going to take years and years before everybody even transitions into an electric car. But how can we cut back on that carbon emissions and all that stuff today? Those carbon footprints or whatever it is that they're calling it. Well, they're making this gasoline to where right now the gasoline they're pulling out of the ground, it's causing all type of pollution in the air. Well, they're doing it a different way, where they're producing it off of corn, and it's just a continuous cycle, feeding the earth and feeding the, how can I say, just the cycle, the gasoline, producing it, and it's just continuously moving. So this is the way I'm seeing it being helpful for us today. And as they start to develop this and making everybody more aware of what it is they have out there, I believe this is something we'll probably start to use. And if we can put this in our vehicles, why not? If it's going to save our environment and the pollution, cut back on a lot of that stuff in the air, all that smog or whatever it is that's causing, this is the way to go right now. And this is something that I've been seeing a lot of people looking into this company, and they're starting to open their eyes to what it is that they're doing. They just bought a lot of land in one of these other states. I don't remember exactly which state, Iowa or one of those states. They bought all this land. They're going to be building another facility out there, producing more of this gasoline, renewable gasoline energy, whatever you call it. Don't hold me to that. Check it out yourself. Check out their website. Watch their videos. See exactly what they're doing. But this is what's coming, y'all. We can put this type of fuel or gasoline into all of our vehicles, whether it's for transporting our daily, activities as far as moving back and forth throughout the day, airplanes, boats and ships and all that. This is something that's going to benefit everybody, and it's just a matter of time before everybody starts to notice that. So let's go ahead and enough of the news. Sorry, I know I talk a lot. Let's go ahead and dig into the charts, and let me show y'all what it is that I'm looking at here. So they just had earnings come out also. Let's go ahead and pull up their earnings here. I believe it was released yesterday. And they beat the estimates, as you can see. And they brought in, a new CEO. Oh no, they didn't bring a new CEO. He's the one that talked about the earnings. Sorry about that. It must have been another company I was reading about, the new CEO arriving. But yeah, they beat the estimates that they were expecting, blew them out the water. They did still have a loss of 6 cents a share, but going off of what they're planning to do here in the next few months, I don't think that's worrying any investors there at the time. As you can see, we had a slight, it didn't even really pull back. They posted the earnings, it kind of came down a little bit. I think it hit a high of like 350 or so at that time. It came back down to around 308, 309. I bought in around $3 on this stock here, as I seen it break through this level. As we started to see it breaking through this 50-day moving average, this is when I bought in. So I started to notice that it broke out. Okay, I'm going to ride this one up, maybe up to $4. As you can see, we have that high around 740. This is a level I'll be looking to actually take profits. I feel like we're going to break through these levels. We may see a pullback here around $5, but I really feel like we're going to be pushing more to the upside here on this green level here. It's not going to happen right away. It may be some up and down movement before we actually start to see these highs. It all depends on what's being released here over the next few months. If we can get a catalyst going, though, we may be able to see this price action a lot sooner. But we pulled back, and even today we just recovered right back up. I already knew that was going to happen, so I waited for it. I thought of doubling up on my shares, but I was hoping we came down a little bit lower, maybe closer to the 280 mark. But that didn't happen. So I'm not going to be greedy right now. I'm just going to ride out what I have, and I'm just hoping to see some of these profits here soon, y'all. This is a good stock to buy. This is a future investment stock here. You can see the volume's been building, and it's actually been steady here over the last few days. As you can see here, we have that steady volume moving. We have a daily average around 11 million shares. Today we just hit that 11 million mark, a little bit over, about 6% over our daily average. But the volume's been steady, y'all. It's been steady, and like I'm saying, we can get this to turn green. We'll be seeing that volume start to build in here and the momentum, and we may be able to start to see it break through some of these levels. We do need to have it break through the 200-day moving average, which is around this $4 mark. We can get above this 200-day moving average. I'll be feeling a lot more bullish on this stock. But you know me, as you've been watching my videos, I like to get in early. I play to what I know and play to what I understand. That's the, how I interpret a lot of this information. But right now I really feel real good about this, feeling positive about this, moving real confident. And just do y'all's research, man. Check it out. Check out their numbers. Look at what they're doing, and just kind of run with it. What do you feel like? How do you feel like we're going to be in the next couple of years? Are we going to all be driving electric vehicles, or are we going to be trying to do alternatives and trying to cut back on these carbon emissions, this pollution, whatever you call it? It's all pollution to me. It's all fucking up the world. But this is something that I feel is a company that's going to be booming here soon. So add it to the watch list, y'all. GEVO, GEVO. Alrighty, it's about 2 o'clock p.m. Another hour before the market closes here, and we got one more stock to talk about. I don't mean to keep y'all on here too long. I know some of these videos run a little long, but if y'all need some information, y'all want to be in the know, y'all gotta watch these. But our last video, stock of the day is SEEL, SEEL, Seelos Therapeutics. So let's go ahead and pull up the news on Seelos. This company here, they deal with psychedelic treatments and therapeutics for different, I don't want to say diseases, but disorders, I guess you can call them. And the reason I started focusing or even watching this stock and following it is their medication that they're developing for suicide and depression. They have something that they're working on. I know they're focusing on some other ones that they actually have trials going on right now, but the reason that got focused on was the suicide and just a lot that's going on in the world. There's not really a way for people to tackle the issue, how to approach it and what to use. They're putting so many people on these medications and don't even know the effects that it's doing. It's not even doing much for those that have these types of disorders, and we continue to see suicide, and a lot of these deaths increase, and depression. I'm not a psychologist or nothing, so don't hold me to what it is I'm talking about, but just from my own experience, this is something I feel it has future potential into making something good. We've been seeing positive results in what they're developing here. They've been partnering up with other major corporations and just developing technology and different medications that's going to be available to some consumers with these disorders real soon. And as the interest start to draw into this stock, I've been noticing the price also starting to move. This actually hit a high about over a year ago, about $6. It came down with the market also, but over the 52-week run that it has here, you can see we still have a high around 279. But we're still in that bear market here on that downtrend. But as you can see, we hit that low of 48 cents, and we've been pushing up since then. And that's back in May, middle of May almost. And we finally broke up. We've actually hit a high of around 120 in the pre-market one day. And since then, we've pulled all the way back down into the high 80-cent range. But I really feel like coming soon, we're going to probably start to see this stock push back to the upside here. I really think there's a lot of interest in the stock and what they're developing. I've been reading on a lot of articles, what people are thinking about, how they're feeling about this stock. And it's not really the price itself. It's all on what they're doing, what they're working on. What you believe in is how confident what they're working on is going to make a difference in the world, right? But just following the stock, and this is something that I believe in, and I mean, you can't hold me to that. You can always think about these stocks as to how you feel, but I take this one more on the personal side of what I've dealt with in the past, of my own history, my own medical conditions and things like that. So SEELOS is something I've been kind of just following along, listening to what they're putting out there and what it is they're working on, and I'm just comfortable, you know, feeling that they're working on something that hasn't already been done. And if it's something that they can put out there and help, you know, with some of these disorders, then hey, sky's the limit, right? But volume's been building. The reason why I'm watching this stock and I'm putting out this alert, volume's been building, as you can see over the last few days. We've kind of dipped down a little bit, but we started to push back up here over the last week or so. Our volume isn't that heavy right now. We've seen a few days where we've seen high heavy volume. I believe like the end of June we started to see that there was a pump there. Beginning of July, a couple of little pumps. But as you start to see it starting to build back up here, so I'm watching as the RSI comes down to that mid-level around 50. So I really think that we may, as you can see here, the RSI has kind of been bouncing on that 200-day moving average. Not only do I watch the candles, I like to watch this because this also gives me an indication that we might see some price action real soon. So yeah, we're looking for it to break above that 116 to feel bullish on this stock, but we're at 80% volume today. We need a catalyst running in order to really drive this price. Nothing big's been published on this stock. It's kind of just been moving with the market, but I know they got some couple of things they're working on in the background. They dosed a patient with one of their ALS treatments here back, as you can see, back in mid-July, and I believe they'll have some information or some feedback on that, I believe in September is what they said. So over the next quarter or so, we're going to see if we can break above this $1.16, $1.20, because we did hit 120 back a few days back. So we did test this level in the pre-market, but there was a lot of resistance still, so we came back down. You can't see that here. Let me see if I can show you on the 4-hour. Let me zoom in a little more here. You see right here, we hit that 120. This was back on somewhere towards the end of July. So we already know that this price is moving. You see the range that's moving here. We're already holding above the 200-day on the 4-hour. So that's also a good indication here. And we're ready. We're right there on it. So I actually bought more shares today. I seen it come down, hitting these lows. I think I bought in around like 85 or 86 cents. You know, why not? I feel like the price is bargainable. It's not too expensive, 87 cents. Going off of what I believe in and how I feel about the stock, I doubled up a little more. So it's all good. We may come back down to 84 cents or so, but I'm feeling we're going to see a bounce right there, and we'll start to push back to the upside. 160, I'll call it, in order if you want to see some profit taking here. I mean, you can double your profit at that time if you buy in now. 160 will be the time to take profit. So we can double our money. We can do that now. Getting in early. You know me, I like to buy in early before the momentum starts to build. I don't want to wait for the breakout and then try to find a time to jump in, because it's a lot harder. You see a lot of prices going on, and you start to see it parabolic up, and before you know, you jump in and it just pulls back. So I don't like playing those types of trades, so I just kind of wait. I'm patient with what it is I'm deciding to move on, and I wait for them to hit certain low levels, and I think those would be the best times to buy in some of these stocks. But SEEL, man, I really feel good about this one also, and I'm gonna wait to see how it plays out over the next few days and a couple of months here, moving into the next quarter. But this is what I'm watching so far today, y'all. These are the ones that I've been catching my eye. I got some other ones, as you can see on my scanner here, but they're a little more expensive. You know, we got Amazon, Apple, we got some of the big names out there, Meta, Facebook. These are ones that are also some good trades if you want to get in for long-term investments. If you got the money to play with, you can try to throw some money in there, because I really feel like those are going to double up also here pretty soon. Microsoft's also another good one. I mean, I watch so many. You know, I even look at the red. When I find a good name in the red and it's at a good level, I look to buy in also, which we still got a lot out there. But that's going to do it for today, y'all. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope these videos were helpful. Hope it provided y'all some insight just to give a little deep dive of what it is we're looking at. And hopefully y'all can get in some of these trades and put some of that money in your pocket. And if this video did y'all justice, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. It's always appreciated. And until we meet again, peace out, y'all.